People's Development Initiative (IPDI), an Ijaw rights group, has threatened to report President Muhammadu Buhari to the United Nations, United States, Israeli and Russian governments following continued indiscriminate killing of Christians and civilian population by the Boko and the Fulani Esme. The group, in a statement signed by its national president, Comrade Uzobo Austin, said Christians and Southerners in the country were no longer safe under the Buhari administration. IPDI alleged that the North planned to continue to intimidate the South, especially Christians, through the killings to force them to abandon their faith for Islam and eventually turn the nation to a Muslim state. It stressed, unless the international community intervenes, the Christian race will be wiped out in Nigeria. The Nigerian government has no interest to protect the Christian faith. The government's backing of their killer Esme, Boko and Miyetti Allah is the reason for the continued barbaric and indiscriminate killings in the country. IPDI maintained that since the Boko, the Esme and Miyetti Allah were from the same Islamic faith and happen to be Fulani Hausa elements from the northern Nigeria, there is no reason the Christians will not believe that there is ongoing Islamization agenda backed by President Muhammadu Buhari in the country. It asserted that the Nigeria security had been sectional and had compromised defending the killers Esme in the southern Nigeria instead of protecting the harmless citizens. IPDI added, the foreign criminal elements killing and invading communities under the guise of Esme in southern Nigeria are not real Esme but organized northern militia groups specially sent to the southern Nigeria to execute the Islamization agenda in the southern Nigeria. What is happening to Nigeria Christians today is an organized conspiracy by the Muslims, Nigeria's sectional and tribalistic government led by President Muhammadu Buhari, it added. While urging Buhari to stop the killing of Christians, IPDI urged Christians in the country to go for self-help against any attack by the Islamic killer groups. So guys, it is no longer news because of recent Minister for Culture and Information, Lai Mohammed, has agreed to that. He has come to the terms that yes, these Boko people are dealing with Christians. They are dealing with Christians because of he gave the reasons and which everybody came out for him and said, oh, now that you have realized that, but initially you guys were denying it. You were denying it. The thing is all over the place, and I see no reason why people are not seeing it from that angle. But even if there are other people are affected, but it is Christians that are really most affected when it comes to this issue of insecurity that we are facing. And for the fact that the border has been opened, free visa policy as point of entry, so it gives room to all the people from all other countries, most especially the Fulani people coming from all over Africa, coming to Nigeria. Is a free fall to them. They can come in and do whatever they want to do. And the worst part of it is that the government is so silent on this issue. They are not doing anything, and the problem continues to happen day in, day out, which we have been complaining about. Most communities are affected. It is not an idiot thing. It is not something that somebody is making up. Like I always say, those who are affected, the victims, are the ones that can tell the story better, and their families. So if anybody should come and be telling us at this point in time that, oh, this is not the issue, this is not the issue. Faneka just said that the person who is still supporting this president, he called the person, there's a name he made mention, and he called such people. And come to think of it, just remember what happened. El-Rufai now apologizing, for what has been happening. They know what is happening. It's only that some people who are supposed to be saying the truth, they are not saying the truth because of a lot of reasons which they really know why they are keeping quiet. We know from our own angle, we know that because of selfish interest. Some people are even afraid. Some people, because they have soiled their hands, they believe that once they talk, they're going to hunt them. But the people who have been talking, Danjuma, Obasanjo, but people still come out for them that, oh, why are they speaking? But they are the ones who has been speaking. Even Fani Kayode has been saying a lot of things repeatedly, coming at every point in time to tell us what is happening and to say it just the way it is. Nnamdi Kanu, that one is a different ball game entirely. That one is that is what he has been saying over the time. So if at this stage some people are still like, oh, it is not all about Christians, it is not about this and that. I think of recent we have not been hearing from Murik. Murik has not been saying anything. The president of Murik, Professor Ishak Akitola, he has not been saying anything because at some point he wanted to make us believe, or people to believe, that Muslims are being marginalized. Of course, it's not as if maybe some Muslims are not being targeted, but the main people who has been at the receiving hands are the Christians, and there's no way they can debunk it or associate this assertion or submission from the reality. The international communities are hearing all about it, so it is not a new thing. They knew it and they know it, and they've been taking actions gradually. Recently we heard what the US government said concerning what to be paid for as many that will give information to know the whereabouts of this Shekau. The government has not even replied. They have not said anything, and a lot of people, Nigerians, are beginning to say, oh, the people who are the helm of affairs, they know where these particular people are, they know how they have been operating. A situation whereby whether they are coming in form of a esme, because this issue of esme has taken another shape, and it has gone more than what people really expected. So the worst part of it is that the government is not saying anything. The president himself is not saying anything, declaring these people, like Organizer said, that they should call them the name they ought to have been called. And because if we look at the index report of the world, this Fulani Esme, they are the fourth most dangerous the terrorist group in the world, and yet they are operating fully in Nigeria. The government, or the federal government, has not deemed it fit to call them the name they are ought to have been called. But when it comes to people who are agitating for self-independence, they want their own nation, it does not take the government anything. Those who are not even involved in taking people's lives, they will tag them terrorists. But the people who are committing mayhem day in, day out, all our politicians, most especially the governments of the day, those who are part of the government of the day, they are not saying anything. They are not saying anything. So until we continue to speak, because what they are looking for, what they want is that people should just be quiet. But there is no way you can intimidate everybody. There is no way you can keep everybody under lock and key. Some people will still come out. It's not everybody that is a coward. Some people will still come out and begin to bring to the consciousness of those who are afraid, or those who could not even talk. So that's just the way it is. And one important thing is that this idea of you want to tell international communities, you don't even need to tell them, because majority of those people, their embassies are in Nigeria. They are seeing what is happening, they know what is happening. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't even say what we need to say. So guys, that's just my own opinion concerning this. Until the government itself takes up its responsibility and do the needful, unless they are telling us that they are part of this problem, which they need to really exonerate themselves, which they need to take some drastic action for people to believe that yet they are not part of this whole thing. How can people just be dying on a daily basis, and the government of the day does not see it as a big deal? I don't even know whether you guys have been noticing, we have not been hearing from Femi Adesina. Femi Adesina that used to come and say, oh, what we are experiencing now is not something that can be compared to what has been happening before, that Nigerians should be grateful. You can imagine that kind of statement. I think maybe he has been cautioned. He has cautioned himself, because a lot of people have really said many things concerning him, most especially the way he comes out to utter some things, all in the name of defending his pockets, because he's not defending anybody, he's defending his pockets. With all of these things that are so glaring to everybody, he will come out and be making some kind of submissions that are very awkward. But for some time, we've not been hearing from him. Since the incident of Asu Villa, when the National Security Advisor, Baba Gana Mungono, talked about what Bakari has been doing in Asu Rock, everybody was expecting them to say something. Okay, come and prove it, because this one is happening among the Kabas. So are you going to say it is the work of the opposition? And everybody has been expecting him to speak, but he's not been able to say anything. Even La Mohammed, anytime they try to ask them that question, they try to manipulate and behave as if it's nothing, but it's a very, very big allegation within the Kabas. So until the government prove itself that is not part of what is happening, that is when Nigerians will believe them. Everything must come to normal, because this is not really normal. What we are experiencing in this country, it is not normal at all. So guys, let's hear your opinion in the comment section.